Get ready to spark your curiosity. We're buzzing with electricity right here on our planet, powering everything from our morning coffee to our late-night gaming sessions. But have you ever wondered where all that energy comes from? Well, we're about to dive into an electrifying world of 15 incredible machines generating power in the most amazing ways possible. Buckle up, and let's start with number 15, tidal power. And did you know, hydroelectric power stations are the titans of electricity production, reigning as the largest power plants on our beloved Earth. But here's the catch. Building these massive hydroelectric plants comes with a big environmental price tag. The humongous artificial reservoirs they create can have a major impact on the surrounding ecosystem. So, engineers got creative and looked for alternative ways to tap into water power. And that's where tidal energy comes in, harnessing the ocean's natural ebb and flow to generate electricity. Now, you might be wondering, which tidal power station is the biggest of them all? The answer lies at Siwa Lake in South Korea, which started out as a seawall to prevent flooding back in 1994. But when engineers noticed the wall was still feeling the ocean's tidal forces, they saw an opportunity and installed a game-changing power station around 2000. They added 10 underwater bulb turbines that spin like magic when the tide rises, converting water flow into electricity. The tidal power plant at Siwa Lake was no small investment, racking up a whopping $160 million price tag. But the payoff is huge. It can generate an impressive 254 megawatts of clean energy, which is equivalent to about half the power output of a standard nuclear reactor. Now, not every coastline has the perfect conditions for tidal power, but in places where the water levels rise and fall dramatically each day, this renewable energy source could be a real game changer. Imagine harnessing that ocean force to fuel your country's growth, reducing reliance on fossil fuels, and doing the planet a solid at the same time. And speaking of innovative ideas, let's switch gears. We've got an astonishing next concept in our countdown, all about turning wasted energy into something truly awesome. Let's talk about you, literally. Think about it, every time you lace up your shoes and hit the pavement, you're generating energy from that pizza slice or coffee. And guess what? That kinetic power from your footsteps isn't going to waste. Enter Pavegen Systems, the geniuses behind a device that converts the motion of our steps into electricity. It's a tiny spark, but when you think about it, busiest cities around the world are basically one big foot-stomping party. Imagine harnessed power lighting up streets, nightclubs, and public spaces. These innovative floor panels have already shown off their stuff in some amazing locations. A club that powered its beats and lights with our dancing energy, London's Underground during the 2012 Olympics, and even outdoor spots. Who knows? Maybe one day your daily walk will be powering more than just your favorite playlist. Now, let's dive into the tech behind Pavegen's magic floor. It's all about electromagnetic induction. They've got copper coils and magnets working together to convert our footsteps into electricity. But here's the cool part. If every person walking on these panels contributed their power, we could light up an LED street lamp for a full 30 seconds. It might not seem like much, but trust us, it's a step in the right directions, pun intended. And the best part, there's huge potential to boost this system and make it even more efficient. Speaking of which, have you ever noticed those solar panels on rooftops harnessing sunlight to generate power? They've become super common over the years, but critics say they're not exactly the most visually appealing addition to our city's wall, and their usefulness is still somewhat limited to sunny spots. Get ready for a game changer. A UK company has been working on a next-level solar tech that could transform any surface into a power-generating marvel. By using electronic printing to create transparent and colorless photovoltaic cells, they've essentially turned ordinary glass into electricity-producing windows. And here's the best part, this innovative design supposedly adds an extra layer of insulation, keeping buildings warmer while saving energy. Just think about it. If all major cities replaced their windows with these super efficient solar panels, our energy consumption would take a massive hit in the right direction. One example already shows just how impactful this tech can be. A 40-story London building has seen over a third of its power needs covered by these magic windows, and heating costs are way down too. Farmers are facing tough times with energy costs going up. It's like they're stuck between a rock and a hard place. But here's some good news. They've got a powerful ally right in their own backyard, literally. Biogas systems can harness the natural power of manure to create on-site energy. And it doesn't stop there. These innovative systems not only reduce dependence on external energy sources, but also help slash methane emissions, which play a huge role in climate change. So, how do they work? By storing manure in an oxygen-free tank and letting bacteria get to work breaking down the solid waste into liquid and producing methane as a byproduct. This methane can then be collected, converted into electricity, and used straight away on the farm. You thought we were done with the farm-to-energy magic? Think again. Not only does this biogas process turn manure into electricity, but it also yields an amazing fertilizer that's perfect for giving crops a nutrient boost. But here's where things get really cool. Similar systems are being used in unexpected places to create energy from waste. For instance, a bus company in Finland is using confiscated alcohol through the same process, powering their entire fleet. Meanwhile, big brands like Coca-Cola and Cabot Creamery are teaming up with biogas facilities, sending them organic waste from their factories to be turned into energy, fertilizer, and reduced landfill waste. Talk about closing that loop. Get ready to meet your tiny energy producers, bacteria. These microscopic superheroes are literally all around us, and scientists have discovered they can be harnessed to do something amazing: generate electricity. So how does it work? Well, when bacteria breathe, an oxidation process kicks in. Think of it like a mini chemical reaction. Oxygen meets their cells and voila, electrons get released. Sound familiar? It's kind of like what happens inside your trusty battery. A team of brilliant researchers figured out that by combining these natural bacterial processes with traditional battery tech, they could create something totally new and groundbreaking. A game-changing way to produce electricity from the most unlikely source: tiny microbes. Imagine tiny powerhouses underwater, powered by the very microorganisms they're surrounded by. That's basically what's happening with microbial fuel cells. By placing these breathing microbes in a special system with two key parts, a cathode and an anode, think positive and negative rods of a battery, scientists can actually control the flow of those released electrons and generate electricity. Right now, this tech is mainly being used to turn wastewater into energy. But as we learn more about it, who knows what's possible? We're talking about powering tiny robots that could explore our oceans for years on end, using bacteria from their surroundings to keep going. And here's the coolest part: these microbial fuel cells are giving us a run for money against traditional battery tech. They're showing us they can compete, and it's not hard to imagine a future where we ditch those chemical-heavy batteries altogether in favor of a tiny, self-sustaining power source straight from Mother Nature herself. Buckle up, folks. Imagine having the ability to turn thin air into energy. Sounds like science fiction, right? Well, not quite. While creating energy out of nothing is still off limits by the laws of physics, there's actually a hidden power source all around us that we're constantly surrounded with. You guessed it, radio waves. That's right, they're everywhere, from your microwave oven to your Wi-Fi router. Think about it, these aren't just byproducts of energy use, but actual usable power just waiting to be harnessed. Now, a game-changing breakthrough might be on the horizon. A team of international researchers recently unveiled a revolutionary device called a rectenna, and it's capable of capturing those surrounding radio waves and turning them into electricity. The implications are huge. We could soon see tiny, self-sustaining devices that run solely on this ambient energy. Who knows, maybe one day your phone will charge itself just by being in range of your home Wi-Fi signal. Let's dive deeper into how this Rectena device actually works its magic. Essentially, it's a super cool combo of advanced materials. Think two metal antennas paired with some cutting-edge conductive graphene material, all wrapped up in a shiny metal coat. When you hook this setup to the right circuit, like powering that portable health monitor we talked about earlier, it starts converting the energy from those surrounding electromagnetic waves into good old electricity. Now, keep in mind this isn't meant to replace those other power-generating methods like solar panels or even triboelectric devices that harness movement. Instead, think of it as a reliable sidekick that's always ready to help out. It doesn't produce as much energy, but it's constantly pumping out juice without needing sunlight or constant motion, making it the perfect addition to your main power source. Now, let's talk about another innovative way to harness energy. And this time, we're going underground. London's iconic metro system has a real problem. It gets scorching hot during peak times due to its old design. Did you know that an astonishing 89% of the heat comes from the trains themselves? That's right, passengers account for only about 7%. But here's the thing. Most of this heat, 79%, just gets absorbed by the tunnel walls, while a small portion is removed by ventilation. The issue is that after decades of use, the ground around these tunnels has already been heated up, making it hard for excess heat to dissipate. However, researchers have come up with a brilliant idea. Instead of letting all this waste heat disappear, why not convert it into electricity? That's right. Studies show that the heat generated by London's metro system can actually be repurposed as power. You've probably heard about how electric cars can recharge their batteries when braking. That's essentially harvesting energy from motion. Now, imagine trains doing the same thing. Researchers have actually tested recovery systems on London's metro trains, and it's a game changer. The system captures the energy produced when braking and feeds it back into the rails instead of letting it turn into heat. This technology is set to become an integral part of the network, making commutes more comfortable while slashing costs and energy waste. It's amazing how innovation can turn heat into power. Buckle up for some serious sci-fi vibes. You might think E. coli only causes food poisoning, but scientists are actually using harmless strains of this bacteria to create a game-changing solution, turning agricultural waste into crude oil. It sounds wild, but here's the genius behind it. E. coli naturally produces fatty acids that are eerily similar to oil. So researchers tweaked their DNA to make it produce an almost identical substance when fed on farm leftovers. The kicker: this method is being hailed as renewable and even carbon negative, because more CO2 is removed from the atmosphere during production than what's released when we use the oil produced. Who knew bacteria could be the key to a greener energy future? Now, let's talk about a soccer ball that could change the game for millions of people worldwide. Did you know that most kids in developing countries play with homemade balls made of trash, which can be dirty and even dangerous? That's what sparked Jessica Matthews' innovative idea to create a sustainable, affordable, and safe soccer ball. Born to Nigerian parents, Matthews knew firsthand how much soccer meant to kids around the globe, and she aimed to make playing fair and fun for everyone, regardless of their location or resources. Imagine playing soccer and powering homes at the same time. That's exactly what Jessica Matthews envisioned with her game-changing invention, the socket. This genius soccer ball houses a kinetic energy machine that harnesses the power of play to generate electricity. With just 30 minutes of kick-around fun, you can light up an LED for 3 hours. Talk about scoring big for communities without reliable grid power. Although the socket is pricier than your average ball, its potential is undeniable. It proves that with creative thinking, we can tap into innovative ways to produce electricity breaking free from massive infrastructure needs. This pioneering idea sets the stage for a bright future in sustainable energy solutions. And who knows, maybe one day soccer fields will become community power stations. Get ready to dive into some seriously cool biotech. Did you know that deep-sea creatures have been lighting up the darkness with their own personal power generators? It's true. Many marine species produce light or reflect it using electrical charges, and scientists in Sweden are turning this natural phenomenon into a game-changing innovation. Jellyfish-powered fuel cells. By extracting a special protein from North American jellyfish that glows green in the dark, these eco-friendly inventors could potentially turn your wildest dreams of sustainable energy into reality. Who knew going green could be so bioluminescent? Imagine powering up tiny medical devices with the glow of bioluminescent buddies from the deep. Scientists in Sweden are harnessing the natural power of jellyfish, fireflies, and sea pansies to create an eco-friendly fuel cell that could revolutionize nano-medical research. By combining a special green protein extracted from jellyfish with enzymes found in these glowing creatures, they've managed to produce a tiny electric charge using just UV light. Think of it like a microscopic solar panel. The team's now working on making this battery self-sustaining and scalable, and who knows, one day we might see lab-grown versions of these glow-in-the-dark wonders powering up the future of medicine. Buckle up, folks. Let's talk about the thrilling world of ramps. Those speed-controlling superheroes on our road networks. You've probably zipped up and down them countless times without even realizing it. But have you ever stopped to think about all that energy being wasted as you crest each one? That's exactly what our inventive hero set out to capture. Excess energy from cars as they zoom up and over ramps. This genius concept, the electrokinetic road ramp, a game-changing way to harvest power from the very motion of vehicles, transforming our roads into energy-generating machines. Get ready for a groundbreaking innovation that's turning waste into wonder. Imagine harnessing the power of everyday movements, like driving over speed bumps or zipping up ramps, to generate electricity and light up our streets. These electrokinetic road ramps are the future of sustainable energy, and they're already making waves in parking lots and maybe soon your neighborhood too. Picture this, enough juice from these ramps to power cash registers, streetlights, and who knows, maybe even your favorite local cafe. While we're not there just yet, one thing's for sure. This genius idea is revving its way towards a greener tomorrow. Check out this jaw-dropping solution to a pressing problem. As our global population ages and care facilities fill up, we're staring at a mountain of used adult diapers headed straight for landfills. But fear not, enter the FSD machine, a game-changing innovation from Japanese company Superfaiths. This genius device takes those discarded diapers, shreds, dries, cleans, and transforms them into super lightweight fuel pellets that can power homes or even massive power plants. It's a win-win, reducing waste, saving space, and generating clean energy. Talk about diaper duty done differently. Get ready for a breath of fresh genius. With masks becoming an essential part of our daily lives, Brazilian inventor Jacopo Lomaglia took it to the next level with the Air Mask, a wearable wonder that's as much about energy as it is about protection. This ingenious design incorporates teeny tiny wind turbines inside, which harness the power of your every inhale and exhale to generate electricity. It may seem like a small step, but just imagine the big impact we could make by turning something as routine as breathing into a source of clean energy. Talk about making a statement with your mask on. Let's kick it up a notch with some real game changers. First off, imagine having your Air Mask power your phone on the go, harnessing the energy of every breath you take. Talk about going green while staying connected. And think of the impact if we all ditched disposable paper masks for these eco-friendly wearables. Now, let's shine a light on something even brighter, the solar updraft tower. This innovative design uses the sun's power to create an updraft that drives turbines and generates electricity. It's like a giant solar-powered chimney that can produce clean energy without relying on those traditional photovoltaic cells. Who knew we could make electricity rise from the ground? Get ready for some serious solar power innovation. There's a fresh concept on the block called the Solar Updraft Tower, and it's poised to disrupt traditional energy production. Think cheaper builds and big-time power output. Here's how it works. Imagine a towering chimney at the heart of this eco-friendly factory, surrounded by land capped with a super affordable greenhouse roof. As sunlight warms that roof, it heats up the air beneath, and voila, hot air rises like magic, creating a powerful airflow that drives turbines inside the tower. If scaled up, this could be a game changer in renewable energy, generating clean electricity without breaking the bank or harming our planet. The Solar Updraft Tower concept has massive potential for electricity generation, but it's been stuck in development limbo for decades due to hefty upfront costs and risks. Until now, a few prototypes are up and running, but we need a cost-effective proof of success to unlock its full power. Meanwhile, innovative companies like California's Gills Onions are turning waste into gold, literally reducing energy needs while saving cash and going green in the process. This onion processor, largest in the US, discovered an unexpected secret: their worthless scraps could become a valuable resource for a cleaner future. Who knew onions could be so powerful? Get this, up to 40% of every onion gets tossed before we can enjoy that perfect tear-jerking flavor. Traditionally, this waste either ended up in landfills or fertilized new fields, but Gills Onions had a better idea. Their research revealed the discarded bits were packed with sugar, making them the ideal feast for hungry bacteria. These microorganisms feasted on the onions and produced methane, which was then harnessed to power two massive 300-kilowatt fuel cells. The result: a whopping 40% of their factory's energy needs are now met by this innovative onion waste-turned renewable energy booster. Mind-blown moment. Gills Onion's genius move to turn onion waste into a renewable energy source has not